You ever sit in your room, surrounded by half-done laundry, a fridge full of "I'll cook tomorrow," and a brain running 15 tabs too many, and still feel like you're getting absolutely nowhere?
Like you're trying to hold your life together with duct tape and positive affirmations? You look at your bank account, your to-do list, your reflection, and think, damn, when did it get this bad? Let's be real. Feeling like your life is falling apart doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been strong for too long. You're not broken. You're just burnt out, overwhelmed, and probably putting yourself last. But you being here, right now, that's not nothing. That's a start. And that tiny flicker that made you click this video, that's hope. We're about to rebuild, not with perfection, but with one honest step at a time. Sometimes the only way to stop drowning is to touch something solid, something you can control. And that solid thing, it might be as simple as a cluttered corner of your room. Not your 5-year plan, not your relationship, not your purpose. Just the pile of laundry you've been stepping over for days. The unopened mail. The desk you haven't seen the surface of in weeks. It sounds trivial, almost insulting in the face of everything you're carrying, but it's not. It's symbolic. It's a line drawn in the sand between who you've been and who you're deciding to become. Because chaos isn't just around you, it seeps into you. It whispers that you're behind, that you're not enough, that nothing will ever feel right again. But when you clean even the tiniest space, you're not just organizing a room. You're reclaiming your agency. You're proving to yourself that you can shift something, even if the rest of your life still feels like a mess. You don't need a transformation. You need a foothold. So clear that drawer, toss what's expired, fold what you've ignored, let the act be loud even in its silence. This is how the shift begins, not in grand declarations, but in small, private victories no one sees but you. And when you look at that clean space, however small, you'll feel it. This is what forward looks like. This is what taking your power back feels like. One corner at a time. Most people wake up already behind, mind racing, thumb scrolling, heart pounding with things undone. But the truth is, your morning isn't a checklist, it's an anchor. The first few minutes set the rhythm for everything that follows. And if you give them away to chaos, chaos takes the rest too. You don't need a full routine. You need a pause, a breath before the noise. Just 10 quiet minutes that belong to you. Let the light in before the world rushes in. Move your body like it's a gift, not a task. Drink something warm. Sit without needing to fix or post or perform. Write something, even if it's just, I don't know what I'm doing. That's the point. Presence, not perfection. You're not performing for a productivity god. You're reclaiming your attention from a world that profits off distraction. And when the sun sets, make your evening a soft landing. Turn down the lights, not just in the room, but in your mind. Celebrate the tiniest win. Breathe into the space you've created. No scrolling, no noise, just the gentle truth that today you showed up. Not for followers or gold stars, but for you, that's the real power. Not just waking up earlier, but waking up for yourself. You deserve to start and end your days feeling whole, not scattered. That's how you build a life worth living, from the inside out, morning by morning. Most people don't quit because they're weak, they quit because the mountain looks impossible from the base. When everything feels like too much, the brain freezes. It doesn't need motivation, it needs proof. Small, tangible proof that you can still move forward, that you're not stuck, that you're still in this. So don't aim for massive change, not today. Set the bar so low it's laughable, because when you meet it, it's no longer a wish. It's action. And action, no matter how small, rewrites the story. A 5-minute walk, 2 sentences in a journal, wiping down a single counter. That's not laziness. That's you starting the engine again. And once it's running, it wants to keep going. The real contradiction is this. The smaller the goal, the bigger the shift, because now your brain doesn't see failure, it sees a win, it sees movement, it sees you showing up when it would have been easier not to. That's where trust is rebuilt, not with grand declarations, but with the quiet moment you text someone back when you said you would, or when you stand in front of a sink and finally wash one dish. You don't need to be extraordinary today, you just need to follow through on one tiny promise. That's the magic. That's the identity shift. Not I'm trying to be someone new, but I'm finally keeping my word to myself. And once that happens, even the biggest goals don't look so far away anymore. Somewhere along the way, we stopped owning our time. It didn't happen all at once. It slipped out of our hands one ping at a time. Now, without even noticing, we live in fragments. A minute here, a scroll there, a reply, a refresh, a rabbit hole we didn't mean to fall into. And by the end of the day, we wonder why we feel exhausted yet unfinished. Why our minds feel loud but directionless. It's not because we're doing too much. It's because we're pulled in too many directions that don't matter. Focus isn't a luxury anymore. It's survival. It's clarity in a world engineered for distraction. And regaining it means drawing a line, not out of discipline, but out of self-respect. When you silence a notification, you're saying, "My attention is mine." When you set a timer and follow through, you're proving, "I can finish things." It's not about becoming hyper-productive. It's about remembering what it feels like to finish a thought, to be present with a task, to hear yourself think. The contradiction is this. We think distraction helps us cope, but it's often what's keeping us overwhelmed. Silence can feel uncomfortable at first, like detoxing from noise, but beyond it, there's power, there's intention, there's you, unfragmented. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to start noticing where your energy leaks and start patching the holes, because your focus isn't just a tool, it's your freedom. And it's time to reclaim it. There's this silent pressure to fix everything alone, to disappear, sort yourself out, and only re-emerge when you've got it all together. But that's not healing, that's hiding. Growth wasn't meant to be a solo act. You're not weak for needing someone to hear you, you're human. And the truth is, being witnessed in your mess can be more healing than pretending you never had one. It's not about oversharing or making your pain public. It's about choosing to be accountable to something beyond your own inner critic. Tell someone you trust what you're working on. Let them see your effort. Let them hold space when your confidence crumbles. And if no one feels safe yet, let the page be your witness. Write it down, your goals, your slip-ups, your wins, your truth, not for approval, but for proof that you're showing up. The contradiction is this: we think vulnerability makes us burdens, but it often makes us braver. Being seen trying is terrifying, but it also makes it real. When someone else knows what you're fighting for, it gets harder to walk away from it. You don't just carry yourself, you get carried when you forget how. So let someone in. Let them see you in process, not just in polish. Progress isn't just about moving forward, it's about staying upright. And sometimes that means leaning. Not forever. Just long enough to remember you don't have to do this alone. Some days, it all slips, the habits, the mindset, the motivation. You wake up already behind, already tired, already done. You scroll past the time you meant to use wisely. You ignore the mirror because looking feels like defeat. And right there, at that exact moment, your mind starts whispering its cruel little narrative. You always mess this up. You're not built for change. And if you're not careful, you start believing it. But what if that voice is wrong? What if the truth isn't that you failed, but that you're still learning how to stay soft when everything inside you wants to shut down? On the days you break your own promises, you don't need punishment. You need patience. You need to hear, "It's okay, I get it. Let's try again tomorrow." Because healing doesn't respond to self-hatred, it shrinks under it. What makes you bloom is grace. Not the passive kind, but the courageous kind, the kind that says, "Even now, especially now, I will not abandon myself." That's the contradiction. We think discipline means being hard on ourselves, but real resilience comes from gentleness. Kindness doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook. It means not setting yourself on fire just because you tripped. So offer yourself the same compassion you'd give to a friend on their worst day. Remind yourself that even in the mess, you're still worthy of care. Because you don't have to earn your right to rest. You just have to remember you're human. And you're allowed to start again. It doesn't have to stay like this. The scattered mornings, the mental fog, the weight of unmet potential pressing on your chest before the day even begins, it's not permanent. You don't need some overnight reinvention. You just need to believe that a quieter, steadier version of you is possible. One where your room feels like sanctuary, not shame. Where your mind isn't cluttered with regrets, but calm, focused thoughts that actually serve you. And here's the part that stings a little. That version of you? It doesn't arrive all at once. It emerges in inches, in ordinary moments. It shows up when you fold the towel instead of tossing it, when you pause before reacting, when you finally do the thing you've avoided for weeks. The future you want won't crash through your window. It will knock softly, and you'll either open the door or keep scrolling past. But the choice will always be yours. There's a strange comfort in this contradiction. The smallest step often carries the most weight, and right now, you've already taken it. Just by watching this, just by wanting different, that version of you can almost see in the distance. They're not waiting at the finish line. They're built in these moments, in this very breath. So breathe deep, stay present, because motion, no matter how slow, is still forward. And you're already becoming, because proving it to yourself is the shift. That's where things crack open. That's where the cycle breaks, not when everything is perfect, but when you act like you deserve better, even when you don't quite believe it yet. And you will stumble. You will have days where you fall right back into the noise, the clutter, the numbness. But that's not failure. That's part of the rhythm. What matters is the return, the choice to try again anyway. So start now, not tomorrow, not after everything calms down. Now, wherever you are, however heavy it feels, this is your proof. You're still willing. And that willingness, that's more powerful than you know. It's not about changing your whole life today. It's about claiming 1 inch of it. And if you can do that, you can do the next and the next. You've got this. Not because it's easy, but because deep down you're tired of abandoning yourself. And today you're choosing not to. You made it all the way here, and that means something. Not to me, to you. It means there's still a part of you that believes in change, even if it's quiet, even if it's tired, even if it's scared. That part of you is enough. It's the flicker you protect when the rest of the world goes dark. And every time you act on it, every drawer you clean, every morning you claim, every boundary you set, you fan that flicker into flame. So here's your moment. Choose one thing, not everything, just one small act that says, I'm still trying. Because sometimes the smallest step forward is the loudest, I'm not done yet, you'll ever make. If something here stirred something in you, I want to know what's one small thing you're going to do today to move forward. Drop it in the comments. And take a second to read what someone else shared. Leave a word of encouragement. We rise better when we rise together. And if you're ready to get even more honest with yourself, to figure out why you keep falling back into the same patterns, watch the next video on your screen. It might be exactly what you didn't know you needed. You got this. Not because it's easy, but because this time you're not disappearing from yourself. And that decision? That's the first piece coming back together. This is Mosaic Mind, where you don't chase perfection. You come home to your power,